ahead, get this recording, and I'm super excited to introduce you guys to Andrea. Andrea is the team leader of KW Great Lakes and St. Clair Shores, right?
Yep, St. Clair Shores and
So
Grove.
she is part of our Live Unreal company family. So she also works with Jeff Glover. So we are super excited to have her and very grateful. I cannot thank you enough for providing this session for our agents, and I will let you take it from here.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to come and get to know some faces on the west side of the state. So thanks everybody for being here. I know that, even with everything going on and, the pause in the state, we're still all having historic years in a lot of cases. So I appreciate you taking the time. And I kind of got a chance to chat with Nikki a little bit this morning and just wanted to kind of go through, really only have about probably 20 minutes of actual presentation style content, and then just kind of want to open it up to what are you seeing, what can I help with, mastermind from there. So basically what we're going to do today is, obviously we know lead generation is the absolute cornerstone of our business. If we don't have leads, if we don't have clients, then we don't have business, right? So what I've done today is kind of break down lead generation by personality type. So taking the idea of the DISC personality test and, everybody's kind of natural tendencies and styles, to go through and talk about some ideas to prospect and market and lead generate specific to that personality style. Because as I'm sure everybody on this call knows, yes, it's important. We all lead generate, build a database, communicate with it regularly, follow up with our leads, and not everybody's going to do it the same way. And I think one of the things I've known, consistently in my 5.5 years at KW is that we do a really great job of focusing on telling people to lead generate, and not always such a great job of actually helping our agents identify the niche that's best for them. So, not everybody's going to be a for sale by owner expert. Not everybody's going to call expireds. And, I know for any of you who've been in the business a long time, there are individuals who are very successful who've never made a cold call in their life, and that's okay. So that's really what today's premise is just to go through, kind of get your brain going. I know most of us are in our business planning for 2021 mode. So, while you're kind of digging into your business planning, let's look at how to get purposeful about where you're going to grow your business from. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So, okay. Now this is the first time I've actually used Canva to present versus throw it into a PowerPoint. So you guys can all bear with me as my guinea pigs there. So again, we're talking today about lead generation specifically by personality type, because really what we know with everything is the massive success is typically found when you really narrow in and hone in on your specialty, or in this case, the riches are in the niches. So for anyone who's not familiar with the DISC personality type, we basically have, it's called a DISC because there's 4 personality types that tend to be influential and show up in every single person. Most of us have at least one that's a dominant, if you will. So dominant, not in like the D dominant, but all of us have at least one of these that show up in a big way in our lives. This is also, I'm sure anyone who's followed Jeff or who's gone to any of the Glover U events, and even dealing with Keller Williams and like the different KPAs and things, when we talk about personality types, it's not just to identify our own and know what our strengths are. It's also to help identify who your clients are so that you can really mirror and match them to best communicate. So just want to go over a quick review of the 4 personality types that we're going to talk through today. So the D stands for dominant. These are your results-oriented, driver, competitive people, typically very outgoing, very, out there and aggressive. I is for the influencers or influencing. This tends to be your persuasive, inspiring, enthusiastic cheerleaders, if you will. This is like the life of the party. So in real estate, I'm sure it'll shock you to know, but the majority of real estate agents fall between one of these 2 categories, the D and the I. And what's unique is that across the general population, these are actually 2 of the smaller percentages of people. So then we kind of move into the more reserved groups. So your S is for stable. This is your people who are amiable. They're the ones who are very democratic, want to kind of keep everybody working together. They tend to be very patient. They tend to just want everybody to get along, things to go smoothly. They tend to be very accommodating. And then our C's are our cautious people. This is our analyticals, detail-oriented, systems-oriented. This is the, I'd rather sit in front of an Excel spreadsheet versus try and figure out a person type people. So if you are curious, or if you're not sure, if you've never done a personality test or assessment like this for yourself, there is a great link, tonyrobbins.com/DISC. That is going to be where you can go and take a free assessment. It's like 10 minutes or less. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you your natural tendencies and your adaptive tendencies and where you fall along this sphere. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about personality-based lead generation from a prospecting standpoint and a marketing standpoint. So as you know, prospecting is going to be the more proactive way to generate leads, to generate business. That's where you are going to actually be reaching out or identifying people or targeting individuals or groups or areas to actually work with. Marketing is going to be anything that you do that's more passive. So things that come to you. So if you put a Facebook ad out, or if you do a flyer, or if you do a postcard, that's going to be really more you're putting your information out there, but you're expecting the actual contact and communication to kind of come to you instead of you proactively going out and getting it. All right, let's get into the fun about how that's going to work for each personality type. So let's talk about our dominant, our D personality type. This is the people, again, you play to win. You never want to come in last. You always get that real estate is numbers business. So you're ready to deal with as many rejections as you need to get to the deals that you want. So these are the ones that typically are very comfortable pounding the phones or door knocking or just getting out there. And so what I want to do is just, again, give you guys some things to think about. If you're prospecting based and that's where your business is going to be, some of the personality trait, strength-based lead generation strategies for a dominant personality are going to be those cold calls. It's going to be your for sale by owners, your expired, circle prospecting. It's going to be your targeted prospecting towards going out and build relationships with builders or business owners. You're going to be the one who's comfortable with sponsoring events so that you can get in front of as many people as possible in a very short amount of time. So your sphere of influence, again, typically this group very comfortable with reaching out to people to let them know that you're around and you're available. From a marketing standpoint, our dominance is going to be your KW gear. And this is going to be pretty much everybody. From a marketing standpoint, I don't think anybody in the personality type is going to not be okay with like having a KW on your logo, because that's a pretty direct, hey, I'm in real estate. And it's also a pretty like, I'm in real estate and you don't have to talk to me if you don't want to talk to me. So some other options from a marketing standpoint, our dominant personality traits typically do very well with the different ads, geo-farming, Google ads, command ads, referral reward programs, and then also publicly donating. So, any of the, I think I've seen, I know Luke is on the call today, and I know that the Schrader Group does a great job of really, putting themselves out there and doing it in a community standpoint. So I think I saw something recently about like a veterans home or something. That'd be a perfect example, like a marketing standpoint where you're putting yourself out there, you're getting out there, and you're also doing that as a community service to get people to come back to you. So any questions on the dominant personality type or any of the, the couple of tips on here as far as prospecting or marketing so far? Awesome. Again, one of the things, I don't think we've said this, there's no right way or no wrong way. The thing with lead generation is the best lead generation is the one you're going to do and the one that's going to consistently be something that you can plan to keep attacking and building on and moving forward with. All right, for our influencers, you're the life of the party. You're the one that comes in and you can know nobody and you walk out having, 100 new friends. So again, this tends to be most real estate agents in general. Some of the great ideas for prospecting for our influencers are going to be hosting those lifestyle events. Specifically right now, when we're back to being not able to be face-to-face, this is a great opportunity for our eyes, if you will, to do things like virtual get-togethers or virtual scavenger hunts or virtual buyer presentations. You can certainly still host these lifestyle events or be event-based prospecting-wise on a virtual platform. And in many cases, you can actually expand your reach from that. Our eyes typically also do very well with networking events. So you're in BNI groups, or you are, an active member in your different community groups, whether it be church or school functions for your kids, or different, Lions clubs and that kind of things. Social media, our eyes typically are the ones that are totally happy and comfortable with getting out in the spotlight. So this is a great option for those folks to go live on Facebook or to reach out via private messages. And these are typically our folks who are basically our social media, social butterflies, where you're always posting something, you're putting yourself out there. Open houses. Eyes are very comfortable with open houses. And again, right now, I know until December 8th or whenever at this point, we won't actually be able to host open houses live. And again, go virtual. We've done this before. We're very well prepared. You can certainly, host a virtual event and still do a video walkthrough of a home and really get that collaboration going from a prospecting standpoint. SOI, again, one of those, you're not gonna see SOI fall off the list for anybody. Our sphere is always the foundation of our business because there are people who already know us, they like us, they trust us. And so no matter what your lead generation strategies are, you're always going to have a group of core advocates in your sphere. Volunteers, agent to agent referrals, and again, that core advocate group. From a marketing standpoint, our eyes definitely are the ones who tend to be more comfortable with getting out there. So you may be the one that has, the magnet on your car or the wrap on the car, the one with the billboard. So yes, our Jeff is definitely an eye in that sense, right? So anybody who's seen Jeff's billboards, this again, client referral program, you're out there, you're excited, you want to make sure you're building those connections face to face. And then swag. So, this one, our eyes are the ones who tend to be the most visual with their branding. So yes, we can all have the KW logo that we wear or grab the cap that we throw on to go to the grocery store. Our eyes tend to be the ones that take it a step further and have the tagline and have the face or have the big logo and really put yourself out there from a marketing standpoint. Our stability peeps, our S's. So these are people, you like people still, you're social, but maybe you're that introverted extrovert where you can be on in a group of people, but you really are more comfortable building those one-on-one relationships or having your small trusted group of peers and friends. So for this, our S's, home buyer seminars and seller seminars, again, networking events where you can control the environment you're in and be very purposeful about what network you're in. So let's say you are a longstanding member of your, we'll use the Lions Club. I have a couple of folks in my market center that belong to Lions clubs and have built a really great business from that. And you know what? Maybe you don't want to be in in front of 100 new people, and yet can you really work your Lions Club or whatever network club membership to its fullest by building those close one-on-one relationships and really helping those others succeed, which in return is going to bring you success. These are going to be our folks that really do well one-on-one with our allied resources because again, as a stable person, as one of those sociables, you want people to succeed. So it's very natural to go in and have that conversation with a business owner and create win-win relationships where you can help them grow and in return, they're going to help you build your business. This is going to be our smaller groups. So if you've not had a chance to, or if you haven't kind of figured out how to get into large groups, put together small meetings. What's a niche that works really well for you? Do you have kids in a certain, athletic program right now or in a certain after-school curricular activity? Are you a huge avid gardener? Do you absolutely love the holidays? Find something that you're passionate about. And the great thing about social media is you can absolutely connect with people that are also passionate about that thing. And you don't have to do it at a large scale level. You can host a Zoom coffee hour once a week, and you can do it based on who you want to talk to. So let's say your thing is gardening. Hey, let's find on Facebook or put out an event for, a small networking group of Kalamazoo local gardeners. Let's grab coffee and talk about, what our game plan is to build this in the next through the year or whatnot. So you can be targeted and you can be intimate, and you can build those relationships and you can still do it to scale to grow your business. So pop buys, that's also a great one. Sphere, again, This is going to be our handwritten notes. So you guys tend to be the ones that want to make people feel warm and fuzzy. So do it. Now is a great chance to get out there and, again, just build those relationships, have those care calls. Right now, and Nikki, I can send you the link on this, KW Outfront, which is kind of our public-facing article gallery, if you will, just posted a fantastic article today on 20 different templates for thank you notes all year long. So literally, for those of you that say, well, I want to write a note, but I just don't know when I'm going to have the time, or I never know what to say, it literally gives you 20 points within a transaction or a business relationship where you can thank somebody, and it has the script right there. So you can, just tweak it with your name and the client's name and any little pieces that maybe sound like you or don't, but it gives you the what to do and when to do it. So I'll send you the link to that article, Nikki, if you want to share it with everybody later. So again, from a marketing standpoint here, these are going to be our more reserved marketers. You're going to be out in your gear. You may have a client referral program. You may have the advertising, from a non-threatening standpoint, but you probably are not the one who's going to go out there and really put yourself all out. And then finally, we have our cautious, our C's. So you take pride in your work. You like the minute details like no other. This is our spreadsheet champions. So for our spreadsheet champions, our C's, yes, you can still prospect. And no, you probably are not the one that's going to get on the phone and want to pound through 100 FSBOs in a day. And yet, some of the prospecting pieces that work really well for our C's are, again, the smaller group sessions. Things like, when you're out and about, find people's business cards. There's a ton of places that post flyers and, business to business and help the community. Take that information down, because again, you look at that as this is a warm lead. This is someone that put their information out there. So clearly they're welcoming that communication. Our C's tend to be techie. So SEO, ClickFunnels, getting really specific about social media in a proactive way. So I want to social media can be both prospecting based and marketing based. Social media, when you are taking the initiative to actually reach out and make a connection, is prospecting based. Social media, when you're putting an ad out to get people to come to you, or when you are just, clicking or posting just in general, that's going to be more marketing based. So yeah, social media can be both. Want to make sure we go through that. Again, handwritten notes, having that great relationship with SOI, community events in the networks and areas that you feel comfortable in. Utilize that. Like, I guarantee you that if you guys all got together on Zoom and talked about even the things that you recognize in each other, you would find at least one additional place in your life where you've not been able to on your own think about bringing real estate into the conversation or being an asset that's there. So, whether it be, a love of horses, whether it be a college alma mater, whether it be, again, a church or a group, or just a passion. If there's anybody like my world, here's my, geeky fact about Andrea is my husband's a huge Star Wars collector. So we actually have like a sphere, and I built my client base off of kind of being like the realtor to the nerds, and it's, it's a niche and it works. And, just when you build those relationships with the people that and with the things that you already are good at and passionate about in your life, it's really that much easier and more sustainable to build those long-term relationships. So again, your C options for marketing, swag is on there, because again, that's one of the easiest ways. If you're not, out in the community wearing, even just a name tag or KW, such a missed opportunity. I can't tell you how many agents I get that walk in and are just still surprised every time they get a lead from the grocery store or the library or dropping their kids off at school. It really does work, and it's very non-confrontational for anybody who's a little more reserved. Online testimonials with statistics. Direct mailers, geographical farming. This tends to be our group that does very good at those specific key things, because you already naturally are very analytical. Now, the caution I want to say here is for our cautious people, no pun intended, progress, not perfection, right? So if you decide that you want to go geographical farming, it's not going to do any good if you spend 12 months to try and establish the perfect postage route and the perfect campaign and the perfect postcard. It's a matter of do the research in a fairly regimented and fast amount of time so you can actually get going on it. Because I have to say the C's tend to be the ones that like trip themselves up over the needing it to be perfect. All right. So that's kind of the brief overview. So from here, from a lead generation based on your personality type style, I'm going to suggest if you've not already taken the DISC test, take it. Identify, see where you fall on that. For many of you, even if you've not taken it, you probably just reading through and listening can identify like, oh yeah, that sounds like me. Or yeah, nope, I cringe when I see that. That's not me at all. So at this point, has everyone here heard of, or does everyone know what a 135 or a GPS is? Is that term? I know it's a Kellerism. Is that terminology? Like, do you guys do like business planning with 135 or GPSs, Nikki?
There we go. I feel like it might not be super common to everyone. They might be more familiar with a 411,
Perfect.
but similar styles there.
Perfect. So then before I go into the what to do with it, we'll kind of go through what a 135 or GPS is. So at KW, Gary Keller is known for simple, easy business plans. You know, if it's longer than one page, you're never going to read it again. Like that's one of those things where it's going to go in a manual and it's going to collect dust. So the GPS is basically a one-page business plan. The G stands for goal. So what is your big goal for the year? Whether it's, 36 transactions or whether it's $100,000, whatever it is, whatever motivates you from a goal standpoint, that's your G or your 1. The P stands for priorities. And the reason there's a 3 for that is that you should have 3 priorities. And those 3 priorities, when you look at those 3 things, that's basically your areas of focus that are going to get you to your goal. So in this case, if you're looking at a lead generation strategy and your goal is 50 deals in the next 12 months, you're going to look at where are those deals going to come from? What activities am I going to do on a regular basis, whether it be prospecting based or marketing based, so that I can get to those 50 transactions? Now, for those who've been in the business a while, I would absolutely suggest this is a perfect opportunity to go through and identify where your current business came from. So if you've done 20 deals, identify what the source was for each one of them. And then from there, you're going to figure out where your top business is coming from. And so I absolutely want to encourage you, your top 2 sources or your top 3 sources, that should be your priorities to double down and continue, because obviously you've already got a strength there. You've already got, a system working. Let's double down and just see where we can maybe add the things that are going to be comfortable and, complement your personality style to it. For those of you who maybe are newer to the business or don't have the track record to be able to identify what the sources are, take your DISC style, figure out what's your natural strength, and then pick 2 of the strategies from that dominant style, and then pick 1 from a secondary style. Because nobody is all 100% dominant or 100%, well, I can't say nobody. Most people are not 100% one thing and nothing anything else. You're going to have a mix of these different characteristics. So take your top 2 and identify based on that, that whatever lead gen strategies are within that zone are already going to be somewhat comfortable and natural to you. And then how you really double down and where the secret comes in is when you have that natural passion or that natural inclination, and now you get really purposeful about actually powering behind it and stepping on the gas and putting that purposeful plan in place. Now that's where you start to see that momentum hit. And so the S or the 5 in the GPS/135 is for strategies. And so under each priority, under each lead generation priority, you're going to actually identify what are 5 tangible action item things that you can do to achieve that priority. So for instance, if one of your choices is, let's say, open houses. So if open houses is the priority, what 5 strategies do you need to do every single time to make sure that your open houses are flawless? It could be things like put your 7th level plan in place and have your marketing pieces go out by a certain date, or identify a specific move up or downsize neighborhood that you're going to market to around each open house. It could be that you're going to host a certain number of open houses each month, and you're going to determine that based on the number of listings in an area or whatever. but your strategies are essentially going to be your action items that are going to help you with that priority. And when you hit all those priorities, when you focus on those 3 things, they're going to help you achieve that overall goal. All right. From a resource standpoint, our KW Connect, the on-demand training, is fantastic. One of the tools that I literally came across today that I did not know existed, and I'll be sharing it with everybody. Actually, just shared it with my market center today as well. KW has put together a productivity tool for agents that takes you through this entire exercise. It's a 23-page document with links to like what you need to know and where you need to go in Connect and Command and everything. So again, once you've got the wheels turning, that's really what today was about, is just to get the wheels turning, have some discussion around where are you finding success, where are you feeling frustration with lead generation, give you some additional maybe, places that you haven't thought about or additional tools in your tool belt to help you go out and build that strong business and continue to succeed. And KW has put it together in a toolkit, which is awesome. So I'll be sending that out to you, Nikki, so you can feel free to forward with everybody. In addition, the on-demand training online right now with KW is incredible. So, when you log on to that KW Connect homepage, you're going to see different courses and different documents and kits that are put together to really help you hone in on whatever it is that you're looking for. And then from a lead generation strategy standpoint specifically, that was a lot of S's. Jeff has done a fantastic job with the podcast and with Glover U on really creating some great content to, again, get those juices flowing, give you some tangible action items based on what's worked really well in his business and in the business of top professionals he interviews. So if you haven't already gone to YouTube and kind of checked out the Glover U page and podcast, there's some really great, really great resources and access things there as well. All right. Like I said, I didn't have a ton of, we're about 25 minutes of, there's the actual like presentation content from here. I would just love to know, what questions do you have? What are you guys seeing? Is there a source of lead generation that you really love that you want to share with us, or something you've been thinking about getting into that we can kind of mastermind or work around?
Bueller? Anybody? I think everyone is just totally wowed. No, this was really awesome because there were some things that, let me rewind that. I feel like this is a very common conversation that I have, is people approaching me saying, I don't like to pick up the phone and call expireds. I don't like to do this. And I'm like, you don't have to. There's so many other options of contacting them or other sources of lead generation that you can utilize. So this was very helpful, very, very helpful.
One of the conversations that I just had, our productivity coaching group does a weekly check-in for our dual career agents. So I was honored to be their special guest this week, Monday evening. And, we got into that like overwhelm, right? I know that you say we're supposed to lead generate for 2 hours a day, and that's just not going to happen. And you know what? I get it. Like I ran a real estate business for 4 years, and I'm going to tell you, I really rarely spent 2 solid hours of like dial. That's just not who I was. I'm very relationship based. So I found a lot of those networking and events and personal connection pieces more than I pounded the phones. But that being said, I want to just kind of give you that thought of, all it takes is one person a day. And if you can find one person a day, every single day, that you can actually, build a relationship with, add to your database, that's 365 people a year. And if you're doing the things with your database to make sure you're continuing to build and strengthen that relationship, you've got them on touch plans, you're sending them items of value, you're creating that value, with you as the professional. If you do that over 5 years, that's 1,800 people in a database. And we know that statistically, you're going to end up with, 5 to 10% of your database that either transacts or refers you every single year. So, what does that look like for your business? It doesn't have to be something that's like glaring crazy. You have to like stack a whole bunch on each other and like, eat the whole elephant at once. It really is just a matter of identifying what one thing you can do 1% better every day, And, you know, if you get 1% better every day at open houses or at, you know, being purposeful about creating social media relationships, or, you know, 1% better at, you know, if you're in a networking group that you kind of, yeah, I pay the dues, but I don't really know that it does anything for me, you know, get proactive about getting into those relationships at a deeper level. And you're going to see your business and just your overall, you know, referral based business and your, you know, the easy business, if you will, really take off. Any questions? Was this helpful? Is this?
I thought it was helpful myself. I was asking around last week. There's a couple Facebook groups. I'm realtor-based Facebook groups. I'm members of. So I was asking people, what do you do when you're a brand new agent? I don't have a sphere of influence. I don't have any family here.
Mm-hmm.
I have only friends, pretty much at work. They all already own their house, or whatever. So a lot of people said door hangers. So I just got mine.
Yay!
So I'm gonna go this afternoon. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, that's cute.
I'm gonna go this afternoon and, you know, walk. It's a beautiful day out. I'm gonna go walk around and just go hang these. I don't know if anybody has any personal experience with these, if they've had any good results, but I figure it's somewhere to start. So that's it.
I think it's an awesome starting point. Way to go putting yourself out there. The thing I'll challenge you to do is, if you're going to go out and do a door hanger, what is going to be your follow-up plan? Because most people, you know, psychologically, it takes, you know, anywhere from 8 to 12 touch points before people really start to like cement that relationship of who you are and what you do. So if you're going to do door hangers and you've invested that time and that money, I would also look at, you know, is there a plan to, you know, contact everybody in the next week to just check if they got the door hanger, if they have any questions, or do you have a follow-up flyer that's going to go out, or do you have, you know, a targeted Facebook ad that you can collaborate just to start to build that foundation there?
Yeah, I don't know as of right now, because obviously I don't know these people. I don't know their email. I don't know their phone number. I know their address. That's about it.
Perfect.
Maybe I can mail them something later. This is the first step. I really haven't thought about follow-up. I thought, you know, as you said earlier, putting myself out there. I'm definitely an I, by the way, in your little disc thing. So yeah, I'm putting myself out there hoping they'll come to me, but obviously they probably won't. So yeah, I got to come up with a follow-up strategy.
And I'm sure that Nikki can point you to resources within the Market Center to help you put those other pieces together to really, you know, make sure that you compound on that success for sure.
Okay.
Yes, totally. Yeah.
Right.
And Steve as well. Both of us.
Oh, is this the infamous Steve? Steve, you're the PC?
The infamous.
I've heard wonderful things about you. Congratulations
Wow.
on your new role.
Guess I have to talk now. Yeah, so I'm new to the position, so it's kind of a learning experience for all of us, I think. But we've been having fun so far. The probably a third or more of the agents that we've got in the PC program have started writing contracts and stuff. Yeah, one had a couple accepted offers and closings, so it's moving.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to celebrating those successes. Let us know, you know, however we can help on the east side of town, please let me know. You know, I'm always available. My email is Andrea, ANDREA, .Warnick, WARUNEK, at KW.com. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, if there's anything I can help with. I think I'm in your Facebook group too, so feel free. Like I said, I know, you know, the small and mighty KZoo crowd over there. I'm a Kalamazoo College alum, so I have love in my heart for all you over there.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. All right. Well, we have so many resources to follow up with and post. So please keep your eye out for not only we recorded this, but I know Andrea is going to be sending some awesome things for me to share as well. So thank you again, Andrea. I appreciate you so much. And hopefully we can get something scheduled for the calendar soon again. So
Absolutely. Just let me know, poll everybody if there's content or if there is, you know, a topic that is near and dear to everybody's hearts. You know, if I'm not the one to teach it or not the expert, I'm happy to partner and make sure you guys have what you need and have those resources. So thanks for the opportunity to get to meet you guys face to face. And again, I'm here if anybody needs anything.
all right, you guys enjoy the rest of your day.